Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boating with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Jason, I always wonder if, I hum a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a lady here in this town, a wonderful lady named Elizabeth Florer, and she has Cat Cafe. And one time she told me, she goes, I just love how you always hum all the time. And I think it's a nervous tick. Like people have a nervous tick, right?
Yeah, they do.
Like the dude, there's a dude that's a broadcaster that I know, and he always does this all the time. Mm-hmm. That's his nervous tick. Mine, and I didn't bring it today, and I went crazy the last 2 days, is I have this little round.
Yeah.
The round to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I went by the studio this morning downtown, and I grabbed some chairs and a table, and I grabbed that round to it. Mm-hmm. But I didn't get around to remembering to bring it in today, so I didn't get around to it. Any nervous ticks, Jason, you have?
Yeah, biting my fingernails.
Really?
Terrible. Yeah, I have a terrible habit of biting my fingernails. Always have. My mother, whenever I was young, she tried to break me of it. They had this bitter stuff you could paint on your nails. It was clear, but it didn't break me of it. I fought through it. I was determined. Committed.
It's weird that you never know what we're going to talk about here on Good Morning Huntsville. I'm not a fingernail biter, but I'll tell you one thing that I am is I just can't stand the feeling of a fingernail. There's like this hypersensitivity to my fingernails, and I have to have them trimmed so it's kind of like that in a way. I have to have them trimmed, and I just trimmed them 2 days ago, and this morning I was like, I just can't stand that feeling, and so I was rushing to get out of the house, and it was such a distraction for me that I told Bridget, I was like, before I load the kids, I've got to get these fingernails trimmed. It's just a thing. I don't know what. And sometimes I won't notice it, but then when I finally do notice it, man, it drives me crazy.
Yeah,
so
I'm embarrassed about mine because it's a terrible habit to have.
I was wondering what you were doing like during the sermon one day. You were like, oh, no, you don't do it during the sermon, Jason.
There's no telling.
No, you do not. So, well, Jason, appreciate it. See, we're upfront and honest here on the show, too. You'll learn things. Instead of news you can use, it's things you never knew.
Yeah, and probably didn't want to know.
Well, at least you didn't say, man, what if I've asked you, Jason, what's yours? Man, I got this real nervous tick. I bite my toenails.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad.
I guarantee that there's, and we're not casting fun, but I guarantee that there is somebody in the world that is a thing,
Probably is.
like a tick of theirs.
It'd probably be harder to do, though, so it may be easier to break.
Oh, man. Well, welcome in as we get rolling this morning. We have such a wonderful show lined up. Number one, because of you, the audience, joining us. We always appreciate you so much, so thanks for being with us as we get underway. Episode 340 here this morning on a thankful Thursday. Shout out Paul at the gallery. Paul, we love you, man. Appreciate you for all of your custom framing, photography, and more. Go by and see my good friend Paul Oley at the gallery, 1201 University. Also a huge shout out to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers and online at elliotsjewelers.com. I had to make a quick run to Brownsboro, Texas. You ever been to Brownsboro?
Not that I know of.
It's kind of like 20 miles outside of Tyler, up in that area. I still do a little consultation work with school districts on teaching and training broadcasting, and Brownsboro's just embraced that. Honestly, I hadn't heard from them in like 4 years. We sold them equipment 4 years ago, and then out of the blue, they call me and they say, hey, we've got a lot of new staff here, and we just need an updated training on how to use the equipment. So I went down there last month, gave them some updated training. Well, they decided we want another set of equipment, and so we've radically changed what we call our broadcast in a box. It used to be this self-contained unit to where you just open everything up. There's a tray, the mixer's right there, and it's super simple to set up. You're ready to go. We found out, though, that technology over the last 4 or 5 years has really improved. I mean, our mixer, this is our mixer now that we use instead of this huge board.
Right.
That's what we're on right now. And so we dramatically decreased the footprint and also the weight. And so instead of everything being all self-contained in a box, it is stored in a box, but now you just open it up and you plug it in. But it's so simple to plug in, it doesn't take much to learn how to do it. And so we actually got some feedback from the CTE teacher there that we've been working with over these last 4 years. She goes, I just love this new the way that this runs now. And so we feel like it's a very marketable product because we include everything that you need in that box, minus the extension cord and the tripod. And it's in a rollable case. You open it up and boom, everything's right there. Video camera, 2 headsets. And we really want to work more closely with school districts on teaching them not only that equipment, but then encouraging them to teach their students how to do this. And that's what they've done. They fully embrace this.
Wow.
And they're letting their students be so creative in designing their own broadcasts and all. It's just going to be really neat for them.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool that you did that.
So that's where I was at. And the reason I brought all that up is it was so cool going to Brownsboro because I just love going to these small towns. And you drive through such beautiful God's country. You're looking around and when you get wrapped up, Jason, you know how it is every day when you're just, you kind of get in this routine of, hey, I got to wake up, got to do this for the children, got to do this, got to go to work, do this, come home, do this. Kay taught me this, Kay Boney at Tomorrow's Promise, your brain gets on autopilot. Sometimes it's good to disengage that autopilot and just look outside the lens.
Yeah, it is, definitely. Did you drive down there yesterday?
Yeah.
Wow. So you had a busy day yesterday.
Yeah, went down there yesterday after we wrapped up the show here, and I had a quick thing to do here and then headed down there. That's a good 2.5 hour drive there. Spent about an hour and a half with the folks there and then drove back and got back right in time for Wednesday Night Live.
Yeah. We had a great night last night. We church here. It was a blessing to be here. We did I did a special. I teach the kids on Wednesday nights, and we're doing the Book of Ruth, and so it was neat to talk to the kids. That first chapter of Ruth is about the fact that Ruth commits to Naomi never to leave her. So we talked about friendship and commitment to your friends and companionship, and it was a great class. We were out late though, had one, and I drive the bus after church to pick some kids up, and had to drop one off, and one of the parents didn't get there on time to pick their kid up, so we had a late night.
I was going to say, Jason may have had one too many chili dogs. Those chili dogs last night were good, by the way.
Yeah. It's a good night. Good night.
All are welcome. It was a lot of fun. Big turnout here. We'll talk a little bit more about Wednesday Night Live and how you can still get involved at the back end of the show today, so we're looking forward to that. I wanted to briefly retrace. My brain just goes all sorts of directions, but the reason I brought up the Brownsboro story, Elliot, I mentioned Elliot Herzlich. Of course, we always talk about Elliot. He's been a big supporter of our platform since we started. He has my wedding band ready.
All right.
He called me yesterday and said he's did a little extra work on it for me now that we've had 2 more children. And so it was a way, of course, that I honor Bridget and our marriage and all that. But now I'm thinking about it. Isn't it meant just for marriage? Can you tie in your children on your wedding?
It's cool. I think it's cool.
So there was a small little jewel on there, and that represented Bridget. And I always told her, as we have children, we'll add another one. And now we have Braylon and Caden, and
That's
Elliot
awesome.
did it. So I got to go pick that up today. He called me while I was driving back. And so I'm going to pick that up today. And then Bridget goes, yeah, there's plenty of room around that thing. Well, there's plenty of room, but the years aren't plenty. So,
I understand that.
you may have like 4 of them. So,
Right.
But hey, we got a great show lined up today. As always, a Thankful Thursday brought to you by our friends here at FBC Huntsville. More information online at fbchuntsville.org. Steph Vallie joining us. She'll be with us in just a few moments from Magnolia Kennel, giving us some updates. And we're going to cool down a little bit this morning on the show. So what does that mean? Well, you just got to stay tuned in to watch what we're going to be talking about here in just a few moments. So Steph's going to give us some updates and some really cool information on some cool down things. So you're going to feel the chill here on the show in just a little bit this morning. Also, a wonderful guest is going to be joining us here in just a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the guest that you've asked to come on after Steph today.
Yeah, Dr. Robin Montgomery, he is a local historian, and I've known him for quite some time, a really neat guy that he's one of the things we love about having Dr. Jones on is he integrates his faith with his medical knowledge, and Dr. Montgomery has always done the same, and he's written a number of books, but his latest book really focuses on the faith of the founders, and I think it's really something that is really neat. I read the book, and it's a great tool, I think, to look back at the history and see a lot of the things that we think we know. If you go back and you actually read it, it may be a little bit different than what we hear in the news and the way modern historians have changed some of the things. So I think that he does a great job maintaining the historical accuracy of the things that have happened in our great country, and he's just a great man with great faith, and he's taught in university before and retired, and he's written, like I said, a number of books, and he's written one book about specifically this area. He has a great passion for this area, the Walker County, Montgomery County, and Grimes County area. So I wanted to talk to him about a few of those things and talk to him about his latest book.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be a fun morning here. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. Our wonderful friend Steph Vallie is waiting, and she's been hanging out with us this morning, and she got to see some behind the scenes of how we had to try to rush and adjust some camera color this morning. So a lot of buttons to push, and we're having some fun this morning. Hey, do us a favor as you get started with us this morning. Send us a message. If you're on the social media platforms, a lot of comments are already coming in. Do us a favor, like this broadcast and share it, and help us continue to promote the good in Huntsville. If you're part of a group, if you don't mind just sharing that to that group this morning. And also let us know that you're out there. Many of you, don't worry, we're not going to embarrass you, but if you're out there, just say a simple hello or good morning. And if you're shy, just put in there, good morning, I'm shy. And then we'll know you're shy and we won't give you a hard time. So no problem at all. I'm a little bit shy, by the way. People wouldn't expect that, but I get nervous talking. I love to talk. I like to talk to larger groups versus smaller groups.
Right.
Because that means that there's always at least one person, a better chance that they're actually going to listen to you. So, but I get really nervous.
Yeah.
So,
I'm the same way. Believe it or not, I think there's probably a lot of people in that field that they can speak to a large group, but personally are more reserved.
Yeah, if it's like this setting is okay, but I get a little tense sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we were in the marriage group
Small
last night.
group, yeah.
And it was cool, but I was like, man, I need to move around a little bit, So we'll take our first break this morning, and the keyword, Jason, what's that keyword there?
Lasso. I love it.
We got cowgirl on there with the lasso.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you to come in this morning with a rope and lasso.
I don't know how that would have worked out. We might have knocked over a few cameras, and you may have been adjusting a little bit longer.
Were you good with the rope though? I mean, you're a horse guy, but were you ever good with the rope?
Not really. I have some cousins that rodeoed, and they were always a lot better than I ever was, so I let them do that.
Well, lasso is the keyword, and I'll tell you what, we've got a little cash we'll give away today, and all you got to do is text in the keyword lasso along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. Text that in. We'll send you some money today. If you win, LASSO, and again, put your name on there. Text that in right now to 936-339-0139. Again, 936-339-0139. As always, our show is on this Thankful Thursday brought to you by First Baptist Church. More information online at fbchuntsville.org. huntsville.org. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. This is your show on a Thankful Thursday. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herslick of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. This is KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Jason Bay, the pastor at First Baptist Church, Huntsville, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
All right, friends, we continue on this morning. Hey, wonderful, thankful Thursday. Hey, if you head over to Facebook, I took a really cool picture this morning. I was outside, and, you know, we're here in the studio at the church, and have that beautiful steeple, by the way. I wish, I'm not knocking anywhere else or any other organization, any other church, but I think just the church steeple needs to come back.
Yeah,
There's
like
something
that.
about the steeple in any community. And this morning, Jason, I was looking down and I looked up and I said, man, what a beautiful shot of the sky, the clouds, the steeple.
That was a good shot.
It just felt like a good morning this morning.
Praise
so,
the Lord.
Steph Vallie here with us. Don't worry, Steph. I got you off the camera right now. There we go.
Oh.
We had a twisted wire.
Oh.
It's better than the twisted T. So, good morning this morning as we continue on. fun morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. Let us know that you're out there. We're so excited to be able to bring you this show each and every morning as we promote the good happening here in our community. And now joined by our friend Steph Vallie.
Hello.
Steph, always great to see you. Magnolia Kennel. What do you always say to us? There's a comment you always say, it's my favorite comment, and I don't get it this morning, but I get it in person.
It's positive day at Magnolia Kennel today.
And it's positive. P-A-W. Positive day today.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Steph, it's so good to have you on. I love being able to catch up with you once a month or so, and I know things are going good. We teased the crowd, the audience a little bit ago, and said we're going to cool things off on the show. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yes.
Before we do, what have you been up to? It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been slow at the well, it was busy until the kids go back to school, and then we get slow for a little bit. But we've been working, trying to stay active, do a little bit of maintenance, and been going to the group meetings on Tuesday for I always forget the initials, WCRC, and getting ready for the February Business Alliance activities out at the fairgrounds, and just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Piney Woods Business Expo is going to be excited. We'll have the website up by the end of this weekend is the goal, and then folks will be able to go on there and RSVP for that. It's going to be cool. Over 100 vendors going to be out at Walker County Fairgrounds. And how do you get involved? Well, we'll have that information coming up, but you can, as a business owner, can come out, get a 10x10 booth, very affordable too. And it's going to be a great showcase coming up in February, I believe.
Yes. And if you're interested in joining our group, we have moved the meetings officially to the Huntsville Funeral Home.
Yeah, the Walker County Community, or Sam Houston Community Room.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where we had our dinner. Jason, you missed out.
Oh,
man.
that was wonderful.
Man, we were out. Wish I could have been there. We were out of town that day, and we had to pick up some school supplies and whatnot for the kids.
Yeah, that's a beautiful room. It really is.
The Steph, you and Scott were there, and good morning to Scott, Pop's Wood Shop. We appreciate Scott as well. Some good food there a couple of weeks ago, and that's one of the food. If the brisket's good, man, I'll take all the brisket in my teeth I can get.
That was very good brisket. The potato salads, Jason and Dee did the potato salad. They did a wonderful job.
We didn't have much food left over either, Jason. You're probably sitting there thinking, why didn't you bring it up here, man? But it was pretty neat. Well, Steph, you just mentioned this event coming up in February. Now, that's not the cool we were talking about. But it's never a bad time to start thinking about how are you going to prepare your pets, especially your dogs, for the winter. I know we're still in the heat of the summer. In fact, I was listening this morning on the way in to a little news radio, and the big thing all season long, they do this every year. This is going to be one of the most critical hurricane seasons we've ever had on record. It's going to be the most we've ever seen. Well, we did have Beryl come through here. It's really been a really quiet hurricane season, but it's been hot.
Well, and one of the things that I was told recently is our hurricane season is going to be extended this year. Usually it ends, I think, in September. Now they're saying it could go as far as October because of the heat in the Gulf and everything. So you should always be prepared for something like that. But with my disability, I'm dyslexic. I'm always thinking future, months ahead of time. That's the way I can stay organized. And this time of year, even though we've been preparing for summer in our animals, we need to start preparing, especially in Texas, for the winter, because our winters are so from one extreme to the other. I mean, we had snow when we never get snow, and then we might have a heat wave or something in the middle of our winter. So you need to be prepared for shelter. Start looking for dog houses and shelters. I'm not an advocate of letting your animals outside, but I understand life gets in the way, and you should prepare your animals if they are going to have to be outside. So dog houses, shelter, making sure that the water buckets and so forth cannot be frozen, those kind of things are what need to be looked at now.
You know what, this year, it's kind of strange. Not that I'm looking for it, obviously, but I haven't noticed many fleas this year.
Oh, knock on wood.
Have you? Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
How do you, when when dogs come into the kennel and those kind of things, how do you kind of make sure that everything is okay? Because I'm telling you, every time we've came over there, our dogs come back better than when we took them.
Knock on wood, since we've been in business, we have never had a complaint with fleas. And that is something to be proud of in Texas, especially with the sand and stuff. But one of the things is people make the mistake of thinking dogs cause fleas, but it's actually squirrels. Squirrels bring them into your yard. So that's one reason that you have problems with neighborhoods, because the squirrels go all over the place, and then your dogs will get infected and your house will get infected and things like that. At the kennel is anytime we shut down for any reason, which this year we won't, but like when we would take our vacations, we bomb the building, we insecticide the yards anytime the animals are gone. And when the animals are there, then because our building is set into two separate buildings, one night we'll move all the dogs into the second building and we'll bomb the other building and insecticide. The yard, what we do with that is you can actually put cedar out. That helps with the fleas. But we've never really had a problem, so I don't it's not like I spend lots of money on that kind of thing because we don't have a problem. The animals being on cement also the fleas don't like cement, so they won't go. They won't stay in the building. So
have you ever heard of this stuff called diatomaceous earth?
No.
Yeah, it's weird. Have you heard of this,
Yeah,
Jason?
I've heard of that before.
So it's the weirdest thing, and they make a food-grade diatomaceous earth, which means it's edible. I was studying one day, we had a really bad flea. On this show, I never know what we're going to talk about. We're talking about fleas. We had a lot of fleas back in the day in Georgetown in our backyard. I mean, it was one of those, you go outside and you're just covered in them. And I said, man, where did all this come from? And it just got so out of hand. But I didn't want to spray, a lot of other things because the dogs were running around. And I wasn't well versed enough then to know that there is some chemicals you can spray that are perfectly fine. It wasn't that I was looking for a natural remedy. I mean, I just wanted the fleas gone, but I also wanted to make sure that I didn't have to keep the dogs inside for a while. We just didn't have time. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned that fleas, they're an exoskeleton, so it's not their structure isn't on the inside. It's like they wear their skeleton on the outside. The diatomaceous earth is it's a powdery substance, and I got it for dirt cheap on Amazon, bags of it. I think I spent like $30. And somebody said, take that diatomaceous earth and just spray it all over your ground. And what it will do is the fleas will get on it, and that powder will absorb all the moisture out of the fleas and kill them. And I'll tell you what, it worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only thing was, for 2 weeks, it looked like there was this, like someone had took a limestone truck and dumped it in my backyard.
Well, with the fleas, a lot of things need to be taken care of, as in the sense of you don't need to just treat your yard. You need to start with the animal, treat the yard, treat your surroundings. They will be drawn to water. So if you have any of the older houses that have those breathe pipes where there's a hole out of your sink, you need to concentrate right there because they will congregate in those areas. So you've got to treat the whole situation, not just one. And then, unfortunately, you need to wait 2 weeks and do it again because the life cycle. And then usually after that, it's taken care of. And right now with our flea treatments that they have that you can physically put on the animals, that is a good place to start, where you put the drops on their back and that kind of thing.
As we head into the cooler months that seem like they're so far away, but they are right around the corner.
Yes, they are.
As we start preparing, what are some things that you notice specifically with dogs that besides, the other prep that you talked about, but what are some things that maybe you kind of see around the kennel, or some things that folks maybe aren't really proactive about?
Well, I don't know exactly what you're getting at, but I was like the grooming aspect of it.
That's kind of where I was looking.
Yeah,
and one, I meant this too. Like, do you see? Let me rephrase that because you're right. I need to reframe that. Do you see like a problem with something like fleas? Does that get worse as the winter comes on?
Maybe for a short period of time because they're looking for the blood of the animal, the warmth of the animal. But the treating, the grooming will help with that. You want to the the reason, and I know we've touched on this before, the coats on a dog are bred for a particular reason. So some of those coats, you're not going to see the fleas. Like, say you have a Malamute and they have a double, triple coat. You move the coat and you think you're on the skin, but you're not, so you've got to treat down deep. That's one of the reasons I was saying the topical on the back. You can shave a little spot and put the topical on there where it gets all the way to the skin. But yeah, the grooming is important. Not shaving your dog when it's starting to get cool, because with Texas weather, you don't know one day or the other if it's going to be cold or hot. So those kind of things.
What do you see as far as the kennel goes? I know that your business kind of comes in waves when certain things go, or people are going. Summer, people are really busy. I know you were talking last week. You were like, "Man, I've only got 6 in here right now." But then the next week, you may be back up to 60.
Yeah, this was a holiday weekend. We'll be full this holiday weekend. That's one. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the things I wanted to touch on, as in the sense of. Plan ahead. We're taking Christmas and Thanksgiving and Christmas reservations now. I'd say for Christmas, I'm probably about halfway full already. But you do want to plan ahead, and you do want to make sure that they're up to date on their shots. Don't wait until the last minute. Those kind of things. Our business is a pattern. Even you can go down the street and ask another kennel, and you'll see there's a pattern to our business. Like right now, the kids are back in school. We're not having the family vacations, but we're having the retirees leaving for their vacation, because they know well enough that they can go to Disney and there are not going to be around a lot of kids running around.
They finally got rid of the grandkids, so they're like, we need to take a breather now.
So we'll get dogs for longer periods of time during this year. We might this time of year we might have a less amount, but like right now I've got one that's going to be with me for 2 months. I've got some that are going to be with me for 3 or 4 weeks. So they'll be here longer time frames. So
awesome.
But there's a pattern to it. There's a pattern to the life. We do want to mention Santa Claus.
Yes, yeah.
This year we're going to do a fundraiser at the kennel on November the 16th. We will announce it. We've already announced it. It's already established, but it can be for your 2-legged or your 4-legged animals. If you want, you'll bring your own iPhone. You take the pictures. It's a $2 donation. And if you want a professional to take the pictures, we're going to have a photographer there, and you'll donate, and he will send you the pictures professionally. We have not picked our charity yet, but the proceeds will go to a charity. Santa Claus is volunteering his time, so we're going to volunteer our time. But we will ask for appointments when it gets closer, just because of my driveway. I don't want 50 cars on my driveway. So, but we're looking forward to that.
When is that again?
November the 16th from 12 to 4.
See, you can get.
It's going to be a Saturday. It'll be 1 hour. We'll be officially still open for the kennel, but then it'll be after hours, so we should be able to do the traffic a little bit better.
You can just get your Christmas done early.
Yeah.
See, we told you we're going to talk cool things this morning.
Every year up until everybody's scattering around looking for Santa Claus pictures of their children or their 4-legged children, and it doesn't happen very often that you have a Santa Claus that feels comfortable taking a picture with a 200-pound dog, or a horse. I guess we could get him to go out and
what's the biggest breed of dogs that people have? The Maltese, or is it?
The smallest is a Chihuahua, and the biggest, they used to say it was a Great Dane, but I personally think it's probably a Mastiff.
Mastiff, that's what I was thinking. Just imagine Jason like a Santa with a big Mastiff.
Yeah. The biggest dog I ever had board with me was 225 pounds.
Wow.
And then the smallest dog I ever had was a 4-pound dog, and that was when I had drains, and I used to have nightmares when that dog was with me that it would go down the drain.
It's like, I'm not worried about losing my wedding ring. I'm worried about losing the dog down the drain.
Oh, yeah.
Well, friends, Steph is such a wonderful asset to our community. Please go online to her website and book now. It's magnoliakennel.com. We've taken our pets there. I say this, I know I joke about it, but it's the truth. My little Stella, that's the only person that can, outside of us, that can bathe our dog is Steph. And she goes, no problem at all. And I'm still kind of baffled about that, because the other day, Linda's husband had watched, whenever we had something came up real quick. And so Linda's husband down the street said, I'll come by and watch her. Well, I said she's going to be aggressive. She was, so we left some treats at the front door, and that's the only way to like to like get her from doing that. Yeah,
they're very territorial of their own house. I mean, I was attacked when I first opened the kennel. I used to do in-homes where I would go and take care of the animals for dogs like that. And I've never been bitten by a dog, but I was attacked by a cat when I went in somebody's house. I mean, literally to the point that it scared the daylights out of me. This cat was very aggressive.
Well, my final question for you then, I'll ask it to Jason, but I'll ask you first, Steph. Would you rather be attacked by a cat or bitten by a dog?
Bitten by a dog.
Same. Jason?
Yeah, probably so.
Cats are sneaky. You know, dogs you can read their body language, but cats are sneaky.
Did you ever see the news clip of the guy? They do like, the news companies, they do the pet segments.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that's like, oh, this little cat is so nice and friendly, and all of a sudden,
I did see that one.
Yeah, the cat like wraps around his leg.
I've been attacked twice by cats. When I was a vet tech, when I was in high school or college, they brought a cat for us to bathe, and that cat, I got cat scratch. That is a real thing.
I was thinking of the song.
Yeah, I had
cat scratch fever.
I had to get antibiotics and the whole 9 yards. That cat was not friendly.
All right. Well, Steph, appreciate you. It's Steph Vallie. Go online, magnoliakennel.com, and she will take care of your pooches just like they're her own. Trust me, because we've been there, and I know that she does such a wonderful job.
I'm the grandma for the dogs.
That's right. And by the way, the moniker of Steph in our community is the Dog Whisperer of Huntsville.
Where dogs get to be dogs.
That's right. Steph Vallie. Thank you so much, Steph, for being here today. Appreciate you. We'll step aside, take a break. Oh, Steph, real quick, what's that keyword?
Lasso.
Lasso is the keyword.
We're going to be there. That's going to be a fun night.
Coming up September the 14th, so a lot of events happening. Lasso Your Imagination is a great opportunity for folks to help with early childhood literacy here in our community. Free books for children 0 to 5 years old. No charge at all, but these events through Tomorrow's Promise Education Foundation help to raise the money to cover the shipping costs. Dolly Parton provides the books, and the shipping, though, has to be paid for, and that is where the money comes from events like Lasso Your Imagination. So our keyword is Lasso. We'll send you a little bit of money today as a winner. All you got to do is text in Lasso along with your name if you'd like a chance to win a little cash today. Maybe some lunch money today, Jason. It'll get you some gas. Gas prices went down a little bit, so maybe half a gallon of gas.
Half a gallon.
We'll figure it out. Lasso along with your name. Text that in on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. We'll step aside and take a break. Our friend Dr. Robin Montgomery joins us when we come back. It's your show here on a Thankful Thursday, brought to you by First Baptist. More information online at fbchuntsville.org. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herslick of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at Elliott's Jewelers.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey friends, this is Rob Hipp, and I'm here to talk about a true expert in the real estate world. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Terry Coleman of the Coleman Realty Group.
With 33 years in the business, I've dedicated my life to making your real estate dreams come true. Specializing in residential properties, I serve Walker and Montgomery counties, from Spring to Trinity and areas all around.
They call her your next door agent, and here's why.
I'm not just here to help you find a home or lease a property. I'm here to build lifelong relationships. Whether it's residential or commercial, farm or ranch listings, there's something for everyone.
Now you might wonder, what sets Terry apart from other real estate agents? Well, it's simple. She goes above and beyond for her clients, like the time she surprised a family from California with a fully decorated Christmas tree and gifts when they returned from closing. You shouldn't have to compromise on the joys of home during life-changing moments. So, if you're ready to make your real estate dreams come true, here's what you need to do.
Visit my website at myrealtorterry.com and let's make those dreams a reality.
That's Terry Coleman, your expert in all things real estate.
I'm Terry Coleman, your next door agent, and I can't wait to help you open the door to your new life.
Welcome back, Huntsville. Time now, 8:25 in the morning, 75 degrees, a little fog and mist out there. That humidity right at 100% today. Boy, rain in the forecast, thunderstorms likely, 70% chance. It's only going to be in the mid-80s, though, thanks to all that cloud cover and rain. Tonight, rain, Friday night rain, Saturday rain. Why don't we just keep repeating that all the way, well, through the rest of the forecast, through Wednesday. Rain, 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 rain. And that's all right. We'll take it. We're thankful for it. Again, thanks for being here with us this morning. It's always our joy and privilege to bring you this show. Good morning, Huntsville. I'm so thankful today to be joined by a first-time guest. And I'll let Jason do the formal introduction here in just a few moments. But Dr. Robin Montgomery joining us here on Good Morning Huntsville today.
Hey, Doctor. How you doing, brother?
Okay.
I just wanted to say a little bit, Rob, before we get started on my relationship with Dr. Montgomery. I've known him for quite a while, but our paths continue to cross because his interest in history, especially in this area. Dr. Montgomery has been involved in history, and especially the history of our local area here. He pretty much knows anything you need to know about history in this area. But whenever I've always had an interest in history, but I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as I would like to be. I spend a lot of my time doing, sermons and doing other things. I'd like to be a lot more versed in it. But I just wondered, Dr. Montgomery, what was the thing that made you originally interested in history?
Well, my dad was a historian.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
And we grew up doing local history.
Yeah.
And, because of Montgomery County and our name and all. And we used to go around and look at old cemeteries.
Yeah.
We called it going bone hunting.
Yeah. Cool.
And we would usually pick up old timers. And as a kid with these old guys, it was really fun. And one of my biggest experiences was there was an old timer around Montgomery that was famous way back, named Riley. And I was looking at his grave marker. I was standing on it, and all of a sudden the ground gave way.
Oh my goodness.
And I went down about 4 feet.
Wow.
And I said, Dad, he's not here.
Well, there's so much history in this area, and you got your doctorate degree, correct me if I'm wrong, from Oklahoma, correct?
Yeah.
And then you went and were a professor at where were you? Give us an outline kind of your career in history.
All right. I was getting a PhD at the University of Oklahoma in Norman, and as I was working on the dissertation, I took a job out in western Oklahoma, southwestern Oklahoma State, and finished dissertation, but things were going well at Southwestern, so I just stayed there and then along the way, I did twice go overseas, and I was teaching a master's in international relations for U.S. military officers.
Oh, wow.
See,
I did not know that.
My PhD was in political science with emphasis on international relations.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
And so, of course, that prepared me for writing all these local history books.
Yeah. And if you want to know anything on local history, I can promise you he's the guy that you need to talk to, because there's so much that he has uncovered that I didn't know. And in this area alone, there's so much history just in the counties that surround Walker County. And in fact, Dr. Montgomery has written numerous books on different local histories, but one of the books that you wrote on the local history is called, I have it here, is The Cradle of the Texas Road. How did you come up, what's the name represent? And tell us a little bit about the development of this book.
Okay, where do I start? It was...
the title, how about the title?
All right, The Cradle of Texas. Yeah, well, it was, this was the area that was the original Montgomery County.
Okay.
And it included about all or part of 6 present counties.
And your name is Montgomery, so your family was part of that original, those families that came here and settled this area?
Right.
All right.
And so we had what is present Montgomery County, and then we had Walker County, we had Grimes County, we had part of Madison County, San Jacinto County, and Waller County. So all that was in one area. And so where did I get the name? The LaSalle. Back in the 1600s, he came over and he was exploring from France, and he went down and discovered the mouth of the Mississippi, and he claimed all of that area drained by the Mississippi for France. And then he went back and got 4 ships and brought them over. And by the time he got here, he had lost 3 of the ships and finally lost the 4th.
Wow.
So he was stuck here, and he had to figure out where he was. And it turned out the currents flowed differently at the time he was here, and he went further west than he had thought. And so he started exploring and all. For France, he discovered the Rio Grande, which made that a big issue forever.
Right.
But then he, around Navasota, off the Navasota River, he was massacred around 1687. But the Spanish started looking for him, and they didn't find him till about in fact, it was 1689, and they finally found his headquarters.
Oh, wow.
Fort St. Louis, up on down around the Matagorda Bay. And while they were there, they had a priest with them. And these Indians came in, the Caddo Indians, and saw the priest. And they said, "Oh, would you come up and help us?" He said, "Well, how'd you know about Christianity?" He said, "Well, there was this lady in blue that came a generation ago, the Blue Nun." And so because of that, the next year, 1690, they came and marked the La Bahia Trail, going through Navasota and all. And they went out and founded Mission San Francisco de los Tejas, Texas.
Texas.
And so there you were. Why did they discover it? Because they were looking for LaSalle. And where was he? Right here in our area.
Yeah.
The cradle of Texas.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize, I mean, of course, there's a great history with Sam Houston in the area and all that, but this whole area, there's so much that of the formulation of what Texas was originally, just in this little area. I've never told Rob this, but years ago, they asked me, the Historical Society here in Huntsville, they asked me to come over to the old Sam Houston grave over there. They were going to put up a plaque for the yellow fever epidemic here in Huntsville. And they asked me to go over and have the opening prayer. And so I went over there, and I didn't know anything about it. And, I was naive to anything that was going on.
You were just praying that it would never come back.
That's right. But so I thought, well, if I'm going to go over there and give the prayer, I'm going to have to learn a little bit about this. So I looked into it, and that really opened my eyes to the struggles that these people went through, and just especially in this area. If anybody wants to looking into something about this area, that yellow fever epidemic was something else.
Yeah.
That was amazing, the things that they went through and how fearful they were of contracting it, because it just devastated this whole community. And I know even Sam Houston University, they went through a lot with that as well back in the day. It wasn't Sam Houston University at that time, obviously, but the history in this area is so amazing. And but you wrote the latest book that I wanted to talk to you about, and the reason that I really have built a relationship with Dr. Montgomery over the years, Rob, is because his history is he's always taken his history and his faith and looked at it through the lens of a Christian perspective. And the reason that you've done that is because the founders of our great nation and that was such an important part of who they were. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of what we see in our modern day is kind of the peeling away of that, or the attempt to peel away at the Christian heritage of our founders and even the founders of this area. One of the things that makes First Baptist so unique is Margaret Houston's connection with this church, and of course Sam Houston's connection with First Baptist Church Huntsville way back in the day. So this church loves history. But what I love about Dr. Montgomery is he doesn't try to separate that. He shows in your research, you show the characters for who they are, and so many of them are great men and women of faith. Mm-hmm. Now, the most recent book you wrote is called Rekindling Manifest Destiny. Well, just the title alone could send people with head spinning. And if you've looked into this, some people might not even know the title of Manifest Destiny. How is that a controversial subject? whenever the way that you understand manifest destiny and then the way the other people see what manifest destiny is, how's that been misinterpreted in your view?
Well, just for a quick overview to start, it was actually started in 1630, the idea.
Manifest destiny.
John Winthrop. Puritans up in Massachusetts
Right.
Bay Colony. And on the ship Arbela coming over, he gave a talk. And it related to the Sermon on the Mount.
Right.
And the light, the peacemaker, know. And in the book, I go through all those steps of a peacemaker and then how that relates to where once the peacemaker goes out, well, then he becomes the light of the world, and you must shine your light to the world.
Yes. Sort of just like missionaries in effect.
Yeah. And he says, you will run into trouble and so forth. And then we take that all the way through, and that became largely, and I go into more of the detail about the structure of the government and this and that.
Right.
But then we get the settlers coming out, and this was, for the most part, their view was, look, we're because Winthrop said, we're coming to make a new nation and we're going to spread this continent, however big it is.
Through the mission that God had sent them to.
Yeah, and so basically the pioneers, that was their mission. And they set up churches and so forth. But then over time, I go into details about how they were helping the Indians, and actually Jefferson, he appointed a guy named Gideon Blackburn to come in, I emphasized the Cherokee.
Right.
Because I lived in Tennessee and worked with them. And so Gideon Blackburn came in and set up a mission, and then he was helping them. And they were around Hiwassee Island, where Sam Houston lived as teenagers. And when I was vice president of Oxford Graduate School in Tennessee, it turned out here's how I got involved in all this. I discovered inadvertently that the Chief Justice of the Cherokee Nation out of Oklahoma was going to come to Hiwassee Island and talk about Sam Houston.
Oh, wow.
I thought, I've got to go see that.
Yeah.
And I discovered that's only 20 minutes away.
Wow.
And talk about God working.
Right.
I went down, and my daughter Joy was with me at the time, and we went down, and we got there early and visited with him. And then he did his talk, and afterwards the media wanted to take his picture. And he insisted that Joy and I stand on either side.
Oh, yeah.
And that picture made all the papers up
there. Right.
And at the same meeting, there was a guy that was head of the East Tennessee Historical Society, headed in Knoxville, linked to the University of Tennessee. He said, it just happens that we're, here in a few months, we're going to dedicate a statue to the young Sam Houston.
Oh, wow.
We'd like you to come participate. And so, oh my gosh. And so I got the mayor of Huntsville, Matt Woodard, and the mayor of Conroe, and then several other key people. And I got them on the program. We all went up there and we helped dedicate that mission.
Neat.
And then I went out and with some of the rest of them, they had another big meeting associated with it out at Sam Houston School.
Oh, neat.
And I sang a song I'd just written called Tennessee, Mother State of Texas.
Oh, neat.
And all the rest of them. But they didn't have time for everybody to talk, so we went on back to Dayton, and they got to finish their talks. Joy had set up, we went in a mission where they had the big monkey trial and all. And they got to do their talk there. So that's a long story, but anyway, that's how all that got started in Tennessee and pushing all of this. But in the meantime, back to your point about how manifest destiny became misinterpreted.
Yes.
Over time, I was trying to show that the missionaries were helping the Indians.
Yes.
And in fact, this Gideon Blackburn actually freed a slave when it was at the time, you know. And so they were trying to do their bit, but they were running into various problems, like they were this guy named Wooster was a missionary, and he ran into problems there. They were in Georgia, and gold was discovered, and the Georgia government wanted the gold, and they were pushing it, and so it was a lot of misinterpretation. And then as they moved out, Sam Houston helped some of them, the original ones, to go from Tennessee out to Oklahoma, was Arkansas.
Yeah. I remember reading that.
And then later, other missions went out, but and so during the early stages, you know, and then we get into all kind of problems. We had the Chickamauga War and blah, blah. But anyway, there were some of the Indians supporting and some were supporting the British. And one of the descendants of one of those British leaders, John Ross, became the leader of the Cherokee. And then he was going one way and the rest of them were going another. And some were really strong into the Christianity. And they had set up a big school in Connecticut for them. And they were really going gangbusters, but then there was dissension between the ones that wanted to stay there and the Cherokees that wanted to leave. And finally, the ones that left and went into Arkansas and all, they set up Christian missions over there. That same Wooster went with them. And they set up what was called the Cherokee Phoenix, and then in Oklahoma, the Cherokee Advocate. And it was a newsletter that was appealing to them.
So the way I'm gathering it is, the original intent for the idea of Manifest Destiny was a spiritual emphasis to help, and some obviously along the way took it in the wrong direction, as a lot of Christians throughout history have done. Some have done great things, and others have misinterpreted their role and went in the wrong direction. But when we hear of Manifest Destiny, you mentioned it here that a lot of times the things like the Cherokee Trail of Tears, the U.S. Seeing the U.S. as kind of a hemisphere policeman, exploitation of the Pacific Island nations, and the list goes on, have been continued to be blamed on alleged Christian-based imperialism.
Yeah. So what happened was Darwinism, evolution.
Okay.
And see. You know, we had the Civil War and so forth, and afterwards there was great unity and all. But then in 1859, this Origin of Species came out, and then it gradually seeped over here, and it began to catch hold in the U.S. And then we, by the time it really got going, the survival of the fittest came up.
Right.
And see, then Texas. The nation became continentalized. We had the railroad, and it kind of pulled everything together. That was the original idea of Manifest Destiny. But then once evolution came in, they began to think, oh, we've got to expand this. We've got to go overseas. And we get into this idea of survival of the fittest and all this.
Kind of setting like one people against another.
And see, here's one of the big controversies. The Roosevelt corollary to the Monroe Doctrine was really an imperialistic document.
Right.
But it was a spinoff of the original Monroe Doctrine that was back in 1823, which was based on the Christian view.
Yeah.
But see, and so that, and then we get on into, as we go into the 20s, we get into eugenics, survival of the favored races, and all that was postmodern, we'd call it today, liberal. That wasn't Christian.
Right.
And then even the Christians suffered because we had the monkey trials in Dayton, Tennessee, you know, Clarence Darrah, Barra, and so forth. And that's where the fundamentalists became looked on as kind of goofballs.
Right,
you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think the book really does a great job of characterizing this and putting it back in the framework of the original intent of the founders and the faith that drove them to to found the nation. And you mentioned when you came in, when you were getting your education and going through this field, you were one of the very few Christian people that in this field. And I think when we look at our education system, you correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the history has been this idea of the Christian principles have been kind of taken away. Do you see that in our modern education system?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so important that books like this and the others that you've written, and by the way, you wrote a book a few years ago about the faith of Sam Houston and his background with the Cherokee Indians. That was an amazing book as well. We had you here. That was, how many years ago was that? About 5 or 6 years ago? Or maybe more. But how many books have you written, by the way?
I think it's around 17.
Yeah. But I wanted to make mention, Rob, that anybody that wants to pick this book up, it's called Rekindling Manifest Destiny, Revitalizing America, a City Set on a Hill. And he traces the founder's vision of Manifest Destiny, of their role, their view as God has given them and what they were attempting to do throughout history. But not only that, the way it's been misinterpreted, the way that these things have shifted over time, but going back to that original principle. And I think anybody that would appreciate this, especially those that really are looking for the Christian perspective of our history. And if you want to pick this book up, by the way, it's available on Amazon. You can go pick it up on Amazon, Rekindling Manifest Destiny, Revitalizing America, a City Set on a Hill. We have a few copies here that we're going to make available at the church. They're $20. If you don't have access to the internet or can't get it here, you can swing by the church. We'll have some here available for people to pick up. But I really enjoyed reading it. He signed my copy here, so I appreciate that. Anything else that you'd like to share about what we've been talking about today or with people?
Well, if you have a little time,
sure.
Yeah. All right. I'd like to link it to Texas.
Okay, yeah.
See, for one thing, I'm a former head of the Walker County Historical Commission, and I currently chair the Sons of the Republic of Texas.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of link it to all of that, which it is, because the term Manifest Destiny was coined in 1845. Why? Because Texas became a state.
Oh, wow.
And a man named John O'Sullivan, I talk about in one of the major issues, he said, what this is the flowering of, to put it in my words, divine providence for all of Western migration, and this is coming to the fore, and it's all built on the principles of the Texas Republic.
Oh, wow.
And see, that linked it right back to John Winthrop. Here's the significance of John Winthrop. He emphasized the importance of the individual as an individual.
I remember reading that.
And he said that each individual, like going into 1 Corinthians, he should find out what his or her particular gifts are, and then keeping that individuality and those gifts work together in a Christian context.
Yeah. And the downfall, you say, of that is kind of the idea of groupthink, and how that groupthink, instead of emphasizing the characteristics and the beauty of individualism, but individualism in the context of a community, but the opposite that would be the groupthink.
Yeah, and so that's what individual equality, whereas today, with the postmodern thing,
socialism,
socialism essentially, is we're all completely the same. And see this pluralism and all. In the book, I go into all the detail and how this becomes the thinking behind the United Nations.
Right, yeah.
And how people don't realize the United Nations was officially formed in 1989. Gorbachev and Bush met at the island of Malta and officially christened the idea. And this new world order is spun off in all this new thinking of tuning to your intuition.
Right, yeah.
And then you are your own God, basically.
Right.
It's groupthink, but it's based on naturalistic religion.
Yeah.
I had one of my big-eyed situations occurred when I was teaching overseas in the 70s. It's a long story, but I just happened on the chance to attend a meeting of the hierarchy of the British Council of Churches.
Oh, wow.
And I went to their meeting. They brought me in there, and all the hierarchy there, and I had lunch with them, etc. And then they got up a group, and this was in the 70s, and they were explaining what we're doing in the third world, you know. And they said our main job is to help them resurrect their own naturalistic religions. And innocent me, I said, well, what about witnessing for Christ? Amen. And they all stared at me and said, that would be imperialistic.
Manifest destiny.
And so I've got the data I got straight from them in the book.
Right.
They said, and this has become part of the UN system. We have this international religions, all the religions. And it says all religions are the same.
And that really comes out of the postmodernistic philosophy that there's really no truth. Truth is true for whoever.
Truth is whatever you can get by with.
Right. and that's obviously, for those that are watching, contradictory to the essentials of Christianity. We have one truth, and Jesus said, "I am the truth."
But yeah, that's essentially, and then, but see that links back. Manifest Destiny was centered on Texas becoming a state, and then O'Sullivan himself, that named it, he linked it back to Winthrop, and then that links to the Texas Republic.
Right.
And so, and it was during that Republic period. That's where my Cradle Road is.
Yeah. The books tie together.
Yeah, and then we have with the Cradle of Texas Road, we go into the founders of Texas, and I indicated each one of them. I've got quotes,
I saw that,
documented quotes, always starting with Jefferson, and see how they linked to not only the biblical, but these early leaders linked back to the U.S. Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
Like in the Texas, one of the problems they mentioned in the Declaration of Independence, we were promised a system like we had in the U.S., and we didn't get it. Stephen Austin, the father of Texas, wrote a letter to Andrew Jackson seeking his support. And he said, we, the children of the generation of 36 are the children of 1776. See, a direct link back to the Declaration of Independence for the Texas Republic.
Right.
And Stephen Austin himself, he used the concept of intelligence based by virtue, those very words. Meyerville Lamar, the father of Texas education, he said, an educated mind is the glory of democracy, and when framed by virtue is the greatest nobility of man.
Wow.
Sam Houston himself used the same term, intelligence and virtue. That was the basis of our education system. And
Lots of change.
Sullivan, when he said we're linking, we got Manifest Destiny, started because Texas became a state, reflecting the principles of the Republic, and we've got proof of how those people officially thought.
Wow.
And Stephen Austin said he wasn't going to accept anybody into his colony unless they were Christian.
Yeah. Well, hey, I know we're running short on time here, but I did want to say thank you for doing this, because I think, like a lot of people that I talk to, and I know probably Rob, you as well, they want to read the history, but they're skeptical of reading the history because so much of history has revisionist history. But I appreciate you really connecting each one of these characters through history and connecting them back to their Christian roots, but not just intentionally doing that because that's who they were in actuality, and then that shaped what they believed, and what they believed shaped how they formulated the country and the state.
Do I have a couple of more minutes?
Just a couple, yes.
All right. Woodrow Wilson, in his book Beyond Freedom, I quote that. and he was building on evolution. And he said, we're in an evolutionary society. That gives us freedom, joy. You've heard this? And so he said, therefore, our Constitution is a living thing. And so it should be reinterpreted each generation.
Yeah, I've heard that. I'm sure everybody's heard of that.
And that kills our whole concept of checks and balances. Which assumes that man's nature is always basically evil, and we need the Lord. But evolution says, no, we're evolving, and so our due process means we've got to set our values based on wherever we are in the evolutionary spiral, and that's what pluralism is.
Right.
Everybody comes together, they intuitively find a common goal, and then the elite interprets it. You see? It sounds like it's everybody's equal, but actually it's elitist.
Right.
It's socialism.
Well, thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it. And check out his book if you're interested in this. I'm sure that you'll be blessed by doing it. Rekindling Manifest Destiny, Revitalizing America, a City Set on a Hill. Thanks so much, Dr. Montgomery. Look forward to having you back again. I always enjoy my time with him because I always learn so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sitting here. I've just started taking some college classes online at ORU, and you know, I'm taking a government political class, and and we haven't even touched on a lot of this yet. And so now this is going to it's going to help me with some of my paper writing. So thank you, Dr. Montgomery. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Well, it's so wonderful. We put the links to those books on our social media feed. So head over there, purchase these books, and learn a lot more about what's happening here and what has happened and what's shaped our country and our state. And it's so great to have someone as knowledgeable, a holder, I believe, of 5 degrees. Is that correct? With Dr. Robin Montgomery right here in our area, and such an incredible blessing. You're welcome back anytime, my friend.
Okay.
And we learned today that a unique thing has happened between Rob and Robin as they share the first name. No.
Real name's Robin. I go by Rob, but when Mr. Leland Thomason started calling me Robin Redbreast, I was like, wait a minute.
I should have worn a red shirt.
I should have did it too. Yeah. So, well, all right. Well, one final opportunity today to text in our keyword. It is lasso. Text that in along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. That number.
Rob, by the way, for our winner today, we'll give them a free book.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll tie in one of these Rekindling Manifest Destiny books. So, yeah, if you would like to win a little bit of cash, and we'll also throw in one of these books from Dr. Montgomery, a very important read. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. Text in that keyword lasso along with your name to 936-339-0139. Again, that number, 936-339-0139. As always, our Thankful Thursdays brought to you by First Baptist. More information online at fbchuntsville.org. We'll take one final break. We'll call our winner when we come back. Stay with us. More to come. This is your show on another Thankful Thursday. It is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your four-legged family members.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herzlich. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herzlich of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
All right, friends, back at it as we wind down here, 9:03 in the morning. Thanks for being with us on a thankful Thursday. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville, and again, so appreciate each and every one of you. A lot of folks have called in or texted in this morning, and that will take us briefly to our Your Time to Shine.
All right.
It makes me want to like Hulk Hogan, man. That guy's really turned it around.
Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with the Hulk, man?
I haven't been keeping up with him much, but I knew that.
The believer.
A few years ago, I think it was. He professed his belief in Christ, and man took a 180.
Yeah, he's his phrase. He always says, "Brother."
Yeah.
You better follow the Lord, brother. So, all right, it's your time to shine real quick. No news you can use today, but how about this?
We had a lot of news here.
Some great news from this,
Yeah.
Jamie Saucier. Hey, Jamie, I hope everything went well with Nina yesterday. She had a procedure, and we're just praying that she has just fast healing. Hope everything went well. Kyle Kreiner, the brisketeer of Huntsville, which Jason hasn't had a chance to try your brisket yet.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. Rob eats it all before I have a chance.
Yeah, he had sriracha brisket coming up. Sriracha. Appreciate you, Kyle Kreiner. Quentin Glaze, #1 engager here on the platform, joining us this morning. Quentin, man, we still need to meet you in person, man. Hey, and by the way, thank you for connecting me. I knew Chaplain Holmes, but you put the bug in his ear, and we're going to get him on the show sometime.
Oh, man, you're going to be blessed. I met with him last week. We had a meet in my office. Brother, that guy is on fire for the Lord, and I've always enjoyed my time with him. He's such a gifted individual. Let me know when you have him on. I want to come in just to sit and listen.
Hey, it's not far. You just walk down the hall.
Yeah, that's right. I'll hear him.
Yeah, wonderful. Carolyn Gibson, the grandmother of Huntsville, joining us this morning. Good morning, Carolyn. Jennifer Augustinetti here with us, saying it's a thankful Thursday. Thankful for the prayer meeting that they had last night at their church.
Amen.
Knowing that God is already at work. Y'all have a blessed day. My sister in Temple and Georgetown's where she's working. She's coming into Huntsville this weekend. Sorry, we're going to that little beach that I found in Pasadena. Well, guess what? Rain in a forecast all week. But it's even better when it rains at the beach.
Let me tell you this, Rob. This whole summer, I've been looking forward to one day. And that one day is this Saturday when my Aggies take on Notre Dame. And Kim and I got tickets to it, and we were looking forward to it. We're going to go meet the boys. They're over there as students. We're going to go over there and spend the day with them, but rain.
But you're still going.
We're still going, but
Yeah,
I was
come
just,
on,
I mean, it was, we were hoping for good weather, and I mean, but
rain the
pray
Dame.
for us,
Rain
pray for us.
the Dame is the phrase. Rain out the Dame. Rain the Dame coming up. So Ellen Duke in Trinity, Texas, joining us. I cruised through Trinity. Yes, I love going through that.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
city of prayer.
Yeah, and you were telling when we opened the show this morning what a beautiful drive it is out through that way. All those trees.
Do you ever hit the VFW Memorial Bridge there in Trinity?
Yeah,
I
I don't take the other one, but yeah, I see it all the time.
It's just on the side. It's not, and it's not like you have to drive on it. It's more of, and I just go on it.
It's an election. You get to do it.
Yeah, and it's only if you're coming back the other way too. So you just cruise on through.
That's right.
Richard Horn joining us. Good morning, Huntsville. Have a great day. By the way, Mr. Horn is really good with the rope, Linda says, his wife.
Lasso, text it in.
Chris Haley. No, Chris, he's watching from Georgetown. He said, hey, Rob, Chris from Georgetown watching. Deborah Wyan joining us this morning.
Did she say she was shy?
No shy from her. Did not AI her this morning, by the way.
Oh, man.
Yeah, should have, though. Should have, but I didn't AI her this morning, Jason. So she is joining us, though. Good morning to Deborah Wyan joining us here. Hold on. I was trying to click on something here, and it may have just broken on me. All right. Rick Boning here. May have broke on me. I got it fixed. So Rick Boning joining us this morning from Tomorrow's Promise. Also, 0 Degree Creations. Hey, the Horn said that Dawn dish soap is great as dog shampoo to kill fleas.
Yeah, I've heard of that. My wife, we have puppies every now and then, Basset Hound puppies, and that Dawn dish soap is so good for bathing animals.
It is, yep. So Dawn dish soap, there you go. That's what you need to get rid of the fleas.
And a bunch of, what'd you call that?
Dimetaceous earth. And our friend Sky Carlton over at Deep Clean, Texas said, fun fact about dimetaceous earth, it can be used as a detox regimen to help rid our body of the toxins like heavy metals, fatty liver. You know what else will rid you of heavy metal? Just quit listening to Metallica.
Well, we got heavy metal right here.
So we need some dimetaceous earth.
Throw it on here and kill it.
Paul Oley, our buddy over at the gallery, join us. Good morning, Paul. Karen Clark, good morning. Hey, Karen, you coming to get these today? She won these yesterday on the show.
All right.
And Jason and I are about to start digging into them, so you got to get them. She's off work today. Come pick them up. Tim Jeske was asking if that book was available on Amazon. Yes, it is. We put the links there. Linda Webb. Never heard of new guest. Never heard of Linda Webb. Don't know who that is.
Welcome, Linda.
No, we know Linda. Good morning, Linda. Great to have you on this morning. My sister, by the way, saying that she is absolutely ready to get over here to Huntsville. She's coming in tomorrow. She may come hang out with me on that new Waverly broadcast.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And then we did have a voicemail come in just a minute ago from Deborah, I believe. Let's see if I think Deborah voicemailed us.
This is Deborah. Yes, I am shy. Very shy.
Yeah, so she is very shy.
Rob, you're dangerous with that.
You know what's crazy is that thing. I've recorded so many other people, and it hasn't sounded anything like them. And that one was like 20 seconds of her voice, and it's just perfect.
It is.
I took my final minute of Sam Houston broadcast back when I was all excited during the broadcast.
Yeah.
And so I AI'd the excited version. These guys are just dominating the field today. Wow, here we go. Now watch this. People are wondering what this is, all right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm also so excited to be here on Good Morning Huntsville. So the AI literally took the inflections of my voice, really exaggerated it, and here's what it sounds like with AI once it generates it.
I can't believe this. These guys are just dominating the field today. Wow, Here we go. I'm also so excited to be here on Good Morning Huntsville.
That didn't sound very excited. That didn't really sound that good, did it?
I think you got to put some exclamation points on there to tell the computer that you want them to be excited.
Yeah. There we go.
There, let's see what this is.
Right.
It's going to be some screaming.
All right, so let's see if this works, because that just wasn't what I thought it would be, Jason. You just have to sit here and wait.
This is crazy. What are these people thinking? I can't believe it's not butter.
There you go. That sounds exactly like you, Rob.
All right, let's just try one more just because this is too much fun. Let's see if this works.
Touchdown in Bearcats' ass.
Did not say that correctly.
That's what you get when you try to type too fast.
I put a bunch of N's in there and S's, and it said touchdown in Bearcats' S.
You better leave that alone.
All right, one final one. All right, here we go. All right, just one more during the sermon. Okay, here we go. You ready for this? Here we go.
Let's hear it.
Did you see what I typed in there? Got pretty good vision there.
No, my vision's terrible.
Here we go.
Come join us at First Baptist Church this Sunday. Pastor Jason won't yell at you during the sermon.
This is entertainment.
All right, let's head over to the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line now. He ain't gonna yell at you, but I will. Oh man, yeah, that technology's getting pretty crazy. Let's get over to the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line. We have a winner today. I don't even know who the randomizer picked today.
Hello, my friends.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Well, I am doing fine with my coffee and listening to you two have so much
Hello,
fun.
Carolyn, can you hear us? Hello, Carolyn, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
See there? Rob, we're going to have to put restraints on Rob here. He's having way too much fun doing this.
Carolyn, that was the computer yelling at you. So not me. I apologize. Yeah, the computer's mean. So good morning. How you doing today?
I am doing well. Yes,
Well,
going over to University Heights to play games with the widows this morning.
All right, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, after you get wrapped up, stop by the church because we would love to give you a copy. Do you know Dr. Robin Montgomery, by the way?
I don't know him personally, but I have read some of his books.
Well,
yes.
we've got a copy.
I would love that.
Well, we've got a copy of the Rekindling Manifest Destiny for you. How does that sound?
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Perfect.
Yes.
And
I'm delighted. Yes.
And do you have a Cash App or a Venmo, Carolyn?
I'll tell you what to do. Will you give that to Kay?
I will. Yes,
Boning?
ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah.
boy, that's been a few bucks coming her way, courtesy of the show now, thanks to Carolyn. So we will do that. So thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
I
yes.
love Kay. Yeah, I love Kay and Rick, and yes, I'd like that to go to her fund.
Awesome. Well, come on by the church after today. We'll be here until 3 and pick up a copy of the book, and we'd love to see you. All right.
Okay.
Have a great day.
All right, Carolyn. Hey, real quick, what are you most thankful for today, Carolyn?
Oh, I'm thankful for health, and I am just thankful that I can have another day with my Lord and Savior.
Praise God.
All right, Carolyn, I do have one final thing for you here. Stand by.
Rob's typing in his...
Thank you. Have a great day. Amen.
There you go, Carolyn.
Just what you need is Rob yelling at you this morning.
That's right.
Have a blessed day, Carolyn. We love you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. She is such a absolutely wonderful, wonderful woman. She's been watching the show since day one, and she's won maybe 4 or 5 times. So,
wow.
Well, Jason, very briefly, Wednesday Night Live went so well last
Yes,
night.
it did.
Boy, I told you when we left, I just, the Lord has been just doing some incredible work all across our community and this county, especially right here. And well, He does great work every day, everywhere. But there's just been such a wonderful move of the Lord here at first, and we saw it really even more last night with the Wednesday Night Live. As the pastor here, just how do you feel like everything went last night?
I always tell people, God doesn't work because of us. He works in spite of us. And I think that what we saw God doing last night was just such a wonderful, wonderful testament of what God is doing. And let me just say, there's so much activity on Wednesday nights for you and your family to get involved in here. You don't have to be a member of our church. You don't even have to come to our church. It's just a great place to find community. And on you can go to our website. You can learn about the groups. But there's different groups that meet. We have children's groups that meet. We have a free meal that's offered. But we also have a grief group that meets. And last night, God did such a work in that group. I wasn't a part of it. I was leading the kids ministry, but I just heard testimonies of what God was doing in that group. And if you need to connect with people because you've lost a spouse, lost a loved one, lost a child, man, I would just say come and be a part of that group and let them love on you. By the way, that group is not just members of our church. In fact, the lady that leads it's a member of another church, and we just come together for the cause of Christ and to help one another. Then we have other groups that discuss the Word of God together, and all the groups, they're discussion-based, and you just come and we just study the Word together. You know what our curriculum is? Our curriculum is the Word, and we would invite you to come. There's a place for you if you're married, if you're single, if you're wherever you are in your life stage, there's a group for you here, and we would love for you to come and get plugged in on Wednesday night. I feel like I would love for people first to come and be a part of our Wednesday night groups and then come on Sunday morning, because when you come to our Wednesday night groups, you're going to meet some people that love you and care for you, and you'll find that group in that place.
I believe growth happens the best in community and in a small group setting. And boy, last night I just really felt that when I was walking out the door. I told you, I said, man, this is just incredible. And I just feel like so many wonderful things continue to happen. And that's why it's so important to stay rooted and stay focused in faith, because it's like I said in our group yesterday, Bridget and I, and I'm not going to tell every single thing, obviously, we've ever been through. But just like in any relationship or any marriage, we've had our ups and downs.
Well, same with us.
The one thing that's brought us through all of that, especially that big move coming back from Fargo, stepping out on faith, and that's the key word. And it's not just, you can't say the word faith without the word Jesus, without the name of Jesus being associated with it, because the faith is in Christ. And I'm going to tell you, friends, when you have that faith and you hold on to that hope, knowing that there is always somebody for you, not against you. I love the phrase, and I heard it one time, that you are not a victim, you can be a victor. And that doesn't mean in worldly things. That means victorious in your living through a relationship with Christ. And I was talking last night in our group about that, and I said that's the one thing, is that faith and knowing that the Lord is always there and that He's going to pull us through. And that's really what it is. And as we walked out last night, I said, man, this was so great. And I'm just believing next week we're probably going to have 20, 30 more people, not in the groups. We wanted the groups to remain small. But as these groups grow, they're going to break out into smaller groups too.
More groups. So. Add, yeah, absolutely. Remember September 11th, the devastating, I remember it. I mean, I'm sure everybody that's watching and listening can remember exactly where you were during that time. What I remember most about it is the Sunday after September 11th, because I was pastoring a little church. And whenever I went back, I was in Fort Worth, I was pastoring a little church, Milliken, drove all the way back, got to the little church, and there wasn't a place for anyone to sit, standing room only. And that was the way it was in churches all across America. Everybody was coming back to church. And because they realized, we need one another. I mean, that was that was a terrible time in our country, but it was a time when our country came together in community and understood the importance of community. Since then, churches have said September is back to church month. September is back to church month because of that. What happened September 11th, and those churches full of people. It's a great time to get back into church. And maybe there's people that are watching, and you've been a part of a church in the past, and you know that you've fallen out for whatever reason. There's a whole host of reasons. Let me just encourage you, get back into church. You don't have to be a part of our church. Get back into church somewhere. You need community.
I'd love to see every church in this community that believes in Jesus to be overflowing.
That's right.
On every single one. I don't care what denomination it is, as long as they believe in the Lord and the salvation in Christ.
That's right.
I'd love to see every one of them bursting at the seams, Jason.
Praise God. Praise God.
Well, friends, we love you. Appreciate you being here. Always a lot of fun with Jason, and so thankful. Thank you for bringing on Dr. Montgomery today. And we'll have to get a book report from Carolyn. I forgot to give her homework. She'll have to come back in a week with the book report. And let
There's
us
so
know
much.
I
read the book. It's so much in there. It's good to have people like Dr. Montgomery who really looks for truth.
We'll wrap it up tomorrow as we wrap up this week. Going to be a wonderful show tomorrow as we will have our friends Jacob Freeman and Pat Kelly. They are from Isaiah 117 House, a great nonprofit. They're going to be joining Billy and I on our Friday, our Faithful Friday. And so thankful to have them coming on tomorrow to share more about their organization. My barber, Odell Rochelle, said you need to talk to these folks, and we did, and they're going to be joining us tomorrow. So make sure you join us. We'll highlight more of the good happening here. Also, make sure you sign up for our newsletter at HelloHuntsvilleTX.com for more information on that. And I did want to say something. I had a weird call yesterday. When you sign up for that newsletter, there is an option to pay for the newsletter. And we've had 10 people do that, and we appreciate that because those funds help us continue this platform and what we do. We do have sponsors, but every little bit helps. You don't have to pay for the newsletter. And I got a weird call from someone yesterday, disputed a credit card charge, and they said, well, we never signed up for any of this. I said, well, someone did because I don't have your number. So if you sign up for the newsletter, there is a free option. You don't have to pay for it. So if you do want to pay for it, that's great. We'd love that. But please, if you sign up for it and you just want the free, do the free. Don't pay and then come back and then we got to do the because now it's going to end up costing me money because this guy wants his money, which I'm happy to give it back, but because he filed a dispute, now I got to pay for the dispute. So get the newsletter for free is what I'm saying. Get the free version. Then we can avoid all this. So that'll wrap it up on but I made a friend, we ended up having a good 20-minute call on the way back from Brownsboro. This guy kept calling. I was like, who are you? And it turns out he's a neighbor around the corner. I never signed up for that. I said, well, respectfully, somebody did. I was like, somebody put in your card somewhere. So get the free version, okay? Avoid some headaches. Don't pay for it, all right, Jason?
Boy, that's a great commercial, Rob.
All right, we'll wrap it up with that. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:30. Friends, we love you. We appreciate you. Let's continue to celebrate the good in our community. And as I end every show, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We're really not, friends. We need each other. So please, please, please provide a word of encouragement and lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. We'll see you back 7:30 tomorrow morning. Until then, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. See you, Jason.
All right, have a good one.
Shattered, every hope grown cold. When the night seems endless and you've lost your way, just remember there's a light that will never fade. When the mountains are too high and the valleys are too deep, when you're crying out for mercy but the answer seems so weak, there's a truth that breaks the darkness and a love that sets you free. It's not over yet, there's a victory. But God, He turns the tide, He moves the mountains, makes a way. When all is lost, He's by your side. He lifts you up, He saves the day. But God is never late. He's the strength when you can't stand. No matter what, He'll make a way. But God, oh but God. When the world says it's over and there's no hope left, when you're standing on the edge, holding your last breath, in the quiet, in the stillness, He whispers your name. He's the calm in the chaos, He'll bring you through the flames. When the walls are closing in and you feel you're out of time, when the storm is all around and you're reaching for a sign, there's a grace that never fails and a peace beyond the fight. It's not over yet, hold on tight.